Christy Lee from Quiet Play. I have done a video now to show you the finished design walls. So you've seen them in progress and you've seen like me talk about all the plans for them, and now they're finished. So I thought I would share how they look now that they're done, give you a little bit of a look at how I've unpacked everything behind the design walls, and then share a little bit about how we made this version to make it work. So let's have a look. Here's how they look. So you can see they are floor to ceiling, and if you notice in the video before, when I'm standing in front of them, I'm about as tall as that bunny block. So I've got plenty of space to work. I decided just to cover just the three center with the acoustic pinboard and the batting, because that's a lot of design wall space. And then I can always come back and cover the end ones if I want to. So floor to ceiling, they're essentially on wardrobe tracks. So you can see there's one on the floor, and we have one up on the ceiling, and it's a track to fit 3 doors. So what I've done is I've put the plain walls on the back track and the design walls on the front track. That means these doors can slide past each other and there'll be space in between. So I put the 3 design walls on the front track, and that way I can push them all together and make a really massive design wall if I'm working on a really big quilt. So behind here is acoustic pinboard so that I can pin into things. Because I do a lot of paper piecing, my blocks are still on paper a lot of the time, so I still need to pin. But it's also covered in batting, so blocks can just stick to it as well, which is perfect and nice and easy. So the pinboard was the acoustic pinboard that was glued on the doors behind, and then we staple gunned all the batting, all the way top down to the bottom. It almost was quite enough, but you can see there's a little bit there. I might cover that with some fabric or something. I'll show you behind how we attached it. This is a little bit less pretty, but it's okay. No one sees this except you. So you can see we added some strips of pinboard here, just glued them into position, and then we stretched the batting all the way around the doors and staple gunned it in place. So it's not the tidiest, but it'll do the job. So while we're here, you can see I've got enough space behind the design walls to walk down through here, which is awesome because it gives me extra storage on the back of the doors. So we attach the pegboard on the back of this one, and I've just put up any of my mats that I use for photos, bags, rulers. I still haven't quite finished what I'm doing there, but it gives me lots of space to move through here or hide from the children. Take your pick. The beautiful thing about these design walls being on wardrobe tracks is they slide super easily, just like that. And so I can move them around so that I can have them stacked up, and I can get in here and see the stash. So you can see I could just move those up as I need, and it gives lots of light in here. But the doors will also protect my fabric from getting faded or really dusty. So here's how it looks with all the doors as open as they can be with the way I've got the doors configured currently. Beautiful thing about these being on that floor to ceiling track is I can move the doors. Like I just sort of lift them up and slide them. Not super easily, but I can do it. They're quite light enough that I can move them around. So I can have the doors on different tracks to whatever I best want. At the moment it works having the 3 on the front and then the plain ones at the back. Right, shall we talk about fabric? So inside my design walls, I have Billy bookcases. I have 7 of them, so there's a lot. I have a lot of fabric. So what you see here, these rainbow ones, are my collections that I designed for Riley Blake Designs. I kept them in their collection order, so that's my very first one, Create, that came out in 2020. I thought about mixing them all up and just having this massive giant rainbow, but I kind of like them in collection order. So each of the bookcases has 2 collections. I designed 5 in total, so there's the 5th one there. There's some others that I designed and some extra low volumes that I've bought over the years. This is kind of like my trophy shelf of the fat quarters that I'm not going to open, of collections that I designed. There's some Hush Hush there that I contributed to, which I super love, but you can see those ones got opened because I really like those fabrics. Then I have solids all together because I work with a lot of solids, so I needed to have a spot for all of them. Just a little bit of storage for my spare sewing machine. Then we're getting to the messy end, so bear with me. This is storage for my fabric that is obviously not on a bolt. So these are baskets from IKEA. They weren't super cheap, but they look pretty, and I'm considering an investment in my stash. So I've divided them up into colors. Some obviously I needed more than one basket per color, because this is my collection from over, I don't know, 12, 14 years. So it's a fair bit of fabric. I'll probably need a few more baskets down here, but if I waited till everything was done to show you, we would be a while. Oh, that's my step stool because I'm short, and in case I need to reach the top shelf. Up the top, those are just where I'm stashing some cushions / pillows, and we call these the quilt snails. My daughter helped me, we rolled them all up and just stashed them all up there. They're all past quilts that I've made, and I just didn't know where else to store them. This is more fabric. Blocks in progress, because I'm a shocker for making blocks and not actually turning them into anything. And then that's the disaster zone of storage that I don't know where else to put it. Other quilts, random fabric, batting, all of that sort of thing. And those who are wondering about my scrap storage, that's not in here yet. I did buy the most delicious set of rainbow drawers that I'm going to organize my scraps into by color, but that's not here yet. So that's how it looks. These are my design walls and my storage in my new studio. I absolutely love it. It is so useful and so practical. I have to give a huge shout out to Irene of Sugaridoo, who I first saw sliding design walls on her YouTube feed, and she was really kind to share some ideas on how she set hers up, and it gave me some ideas on how I wanted to set mine. It was really helpful. That's everything. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm sure I've missed something, but I've tried to give you a pretty good overview of how it looks, how it works, and you can probably expect the blocks to change as I work on different things, but I love having lots of space to put all these different blocks and quilts out. Thanks for checking out my design walls.